Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Battle's End live Q&A, another episode. If it's your first time here, welcome. We've been doing these weekly where I sit down with several current Florida State players and I let y'all ask questions that I pass along to them. Throw those in the chat. We've got DJ Lundy to kick us off. If it's your fifth or sixth time here, well, thank you for coming back every time. Make sure y'all like the video. Make sure y'all follow the channel so you don't miss these or any of our player profiles that we put out throughout the week. And make sure to share this with some folks so we can get that viewer count up. We are the Battle's End, Florida State's NIL collective, and anything that y'all do tonight, super chat wise, any of that supports Florida State players. And if you want to continue to support FSU players, go to thebattlesend.com and become a member today. DJ Lundy, my man, how are we?
Doing good, man. How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Like I said when we were kind of chit-chatting, I don't know where to start going forward. I mean, you're one of the last guys that's really seen the climb. I mean, you've seen the whole thing from the start in 2020.
Yeah, man.
Let's just start with that, man. Like, how different is it now feeling like y'all are at the top of college football headed into a season versus where y'all were when you first got here in 2020?
I mean, it's completely different. The atmosphere around us, just all of us. I say when I first got here, the buy-in, it wasn't near as what it is now. Now everybody's bought in, and we know Coach Norvell know what he's talking about, and we know if we listen to him, we'll get results. And he loves his players, man. So we know we'll go through war for that, man.
Is there ever like a thing that you look back on and that at the time coach either did or said where y'all were like, man, this guy's crazy, that once it kind of proved itself and you're like, oh no, actually we're winning games, there's something to this that like specifically sticks out in your head?
I mean, to be honest with you, I always thought Coach Norvell, he kind of crazy. I mean, it's 5:45 in the morning and he telling you good morning loud as he can at the top of his lungs, you know, wake you up
screaming
when you sleep, screaming. But just, I mean, I'd probably say, I don't know, man, just the stuff he preached, like the special teams, the little thing. At first, I can say I was a little iffy, but just now, he got me 110%. I listen to anything he say because we got some good coaches on our staff, and they love what they do.
How cool is it for a guy like you, and then we'll grab questions from the chat, but how cool is it for a guy like you under a coach to be used so versatilely, right? Like, I mean, we look back at the Boston College game last year, right, where you got an interception on one drive, and then on the drive that got down to the red zone, they hand it to you to punch it in. And being on a team that kind of maximizes your talents like that, and how creatively coach really uses all the players on the roster.
I mean, it just makes you feel good, man. You know, if you train, you put yourself in shape. You know, he told me if I got in shape to play both sides, he would give me the opportunity to see what I could do. And when we was in practice, I made the most of it and showed him that I can do something with the balls in my hands, and I earned his trust, and he called it in the game. But anytime we got that in the game plan, I'm on edge and I'm ready, because if he give me an opportunity, I'm going to cash in.
So when NCAA 2025, the video game comes out in a few weeks, are you putting DJ Lundy at fullback a few times when you play it?
I'm at running back.
You're going to let yourself run around the outside?
Yeah, I'm at running back.
Full outside zone.
Until somebody at fullback.
I love it, man. We got some questions coming in. Briley wants to know, is there a sense among the players that some guys are poised to take a big step this summer if y'all get the absolute most out of player-run workouts? So, yeah, who's poised to take, you think, the biggest like next steps this summer, and who's taking on the biggest leadership roles in the player-led workouts?
So we got a lot of guys that I think are poised to make the next step. As far as leadership roles, I say Shaheem Brown, which y'all all know, he's having an increased leadership role. Joshua Farmer, Patrick Payton, who else? Azarie. Those are just names that first come up when I think of people who last year wasn't as vocal as they is now. But those guys, like, they're making their presence known, and you can tell that they bought in. We all holding each other accountable.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And, I mean, y'all have a lot of it's like we lost a lot of guys last year, but, a lot of the guys that are filling their roles, it's not like they're brand new. I mean, they're folks like yourself. You're going into your fifth year, and while, Tatum and D'Lo move on, I mean, you've played a lot of snaps here at Florida State. And, how quickly have you, or I guess more so, what have you done to kind of get the guys like Sean and Juice and the younger guys kind of up to that next level now that you're the older guy in the room?
Well, I say a lot of it, they took it upon themselves. I mean, they know, just like everybody else know, we lost two guys who went to the NFL. So we need linebackers to play. And all of them boys want to play, and they all know they compete against each other. So we all just use each other to compete. We really push each other. We work out outside of workouts. Just constant competition, man, because we got some big roles to fill, but we got the people to do it as well.
Yeah.
So we look forward to that challenge.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what y'all's room does. I'm sure we'll get more questions about it, but just from talking to all y'all,
we get a lot of people think our linebacker room, we need other linebackers, but I love the guys we got, and we're gonna step up and we're gonna show people what we can do.
Oh yeah, no, I can't wait to see it. And Greg's got a question. James B, we will have Super Chat next week, folks. The YouTube algorithm, if you want to help, make sure you're liking the video and all that. Super Chat, actually, they mailed me a thing and hard mail to the office to verify. It'll be done by next week, but let's get the view count up. Greg Turner wants to know: are you still an elite wrestler?
Ask Jerry Verse. That's all I'm gonna say.
I don't even have a witty response to that. We're gonna let that one speak for itself. What's the one thing you learned from Tatum or Kalen that you'll bring to lead in the linebacker room? And what's one original thing that comes from DJ Lundy that you want to pass down to the younger guys?
I'll tell you one thing I learned from both of them. One thing I learned from D-Lo is, like, I got here. He was here a year before me, but it's like we kind of started off the same. Like, we really wasn't playing much. But just seeing the way he took on that role and how vocal he became, because the year before that, he wasn't nothing like that. But the next year, he was vocal. He was getting guys lined up. You can tell that he had really took it upon himself to take the next step. And he really pushed that issue on himself. And seeing how that paid out for him, the way he carried himself, the plays he made, it just motivated me. And, I can do that same thing. Just got to really be vocal and, be uncomfortable a little bit. So seeing that from him, that really helped me. And I say with Tatum, I learned, Tatum more of a smart guy. Like, his preparation, I took a lot of that from Tatum. He's always locked into film study. And Tatum also really good about taking care of his body. So now the rehab and stuff, being in the training room, I got all that from Tatum because he always did extra care on his groins and stuff. Those was probably the biggest two I took from them.
Were you part of the Outback Wing crew?
Oh, yeah.
Is that tradition going to continue? Or?
I did it sometimes, but nah.
Okay. Just curious.
Nah, I'm more of I like to eat fish.
You're a fish guy?
Yeah.
Okay. What kind of fish? You guys
salmon.
Okay.
I eat salmon on game day.
That's like the game day go. Keep you okay.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. Glenn wants to know. Go a few ways to this. What's a question you rarely get asked that you wish you were asked more?
That's a good question. I say probably about my running back times. Back in high school, I really like running the ball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about it. I mean, so did you play full on halfback in high school?
Really, I played running back up until my senior year of high school. So my senior high school was my first year playing linebacker. Other than that, I've always played running back. So, it was kind of an adjustment, but now, I like it. But it still ain't nothing like running the ball, though.
So
Touchdown.
It's interesting because Blake Nicholson was kind of the same way, right? Like, I know he mostly played running back, and I think he said going into his junior year is when he was at camps and they started to move him. What kind of advice have you been able to maybe give him as a running back that converted over for college?
Just really, playing running back kind of helps you playing linebacker because, the same way they see the hole and hit the hole at linebacker, you can see the hole when it open up too. So really just going off of, really instinct. If you've been running the ball, when you see a hole, that's where the running back gonna go. So if you can meet him in the hole, or beat him to the hole, you can make you a play. So I say really just taking what you learn from running back and applying it to linebacker.
Makes sense, man. So last one, then we'll get you out of here. James B wants to know, DJ, where do you feel like you've improved the most in your game, and what do you want to improve on most in fall camp?
I say I improved the most, probably patience and pre-play, knowing what's coming and what the offense is trying to do, and even in route concepts and when I'm covering people, being more patient, knowing where my help is and stuff of that nature. And the biggest thing I'm trying to work on right now probably is, for one, my communication and just really just being the smartest linebacker I can be, trying to get an edge. I want to be able to know what play coming before it comes. So really just my preparation is my biggest focus.
Makes sense, man. All right, so last one from Hannah. Is there a team you're most looking forward to playing this season?
I'd say Clemson and Florida.
Okay. Gonna have a repeat of last year, beat both the same season?
That's the standard.
Yes, sir. Well, hey, man, we appreciate you coming by tonight, being on our live show. Thanks for swinging by. And we are, man, we're fired up to see what happens on the field, see the linebacker room this year, and, you know, hopefully some more DJ Lundy touchdowns.
Yes, sir. Appreciate y'all for having me, man.
Thanks a lot, man. Folks, that was starting linebacker DJ Lundy. Coming in next, we're going to have Darion Williamson. Again, this is brought to you by us here at The Battle's End, Florida State's football NIL collective. Make sure that y'all go to thebattlesend.com and directly support Florida State football players. Darion is coming in right now. I got you in the chair. What's up, dude? You all right?
Oh, good.
Good to see you, man. Good. Yeah, have a seat. All right, folks, we got 352 of y'all watching right now. Make sure you like the video. Make sure that y'all drop a comment in. We're going to be answering the questions that you throw in. So if you've got a question for Darion about football in general, whatever you may want to ask, although there is some monitoring of the questions, so, you know, we will get it on there. And again, make sure y'all are interacting and sharing this and helping us grow this channel because it does directly support the football team and fuel the climb. Darion, my man, sorry, I was just thinking for a second, you were one of the first guys last year that we did some content with, and now you've seen we've kind of come a long way since then.
Yeah. I like it.
But similar to what you've done, man, this was a huge year for you. Got that first touchdown, Doak Campbell. You know, we've seen the offseason. I mean, you already were in great shape, but you've worked kind of in an extra gear this offseason, and it's cool to look back on, but also have a whole nother year to look forward to. So just where is your mind at leaving spring and head into the season? What are you focused on? How are you feeling?
Honestly, just taking that next step, doing the little things to be prepared, taking care of my body more than I usually would or usually have, and becoming more of a vocal leader. I always normally led by example, but I'm starting to vocalize that more, even preaching to the younger guys. The steps I took early on that helped me get to where I am.
Yeah, no, absolutely, man. And again, I think this is just an interesting room for a lot of people to look at, right? Because y'all have so much diversity in this room. We've got guys like you who are 6'3", 215, 220. Then we've got guys, you know, like Chikai who are 5'9", a lot faster, a lot speedier, and a little bit of everything in between. Tell us how you're looking at the room, how you're feeling about it, just again, with so many weapons in y'all's position group.
I think I like it a lot. I feel like it help Coach Norvell and Coach Atkins be able to diversify the routes that we get. Playbook opens up a lot more. And even for guys like me, myself, you know, on the taller side, I feel like we still even have the speed with the taller guys, and I would say that's kind of a strength of this wide receiver room this year, for definitely speed.
Yeah, I mean, I forget the exact stat, but I know that at a thing before the spring game, Coach Norvell said there's something like 5 times as many guys this spring hit 20 miles an hour on the GPS than last spring. I mean, it's an insane number.
Like really the entire team is faster than previous years.
What does that do for, like, just the I guess I know what it does. It makes the team faster. Good question, Max. But, like, when y'all look at compared to last year, like, what should fans expect to see different on the field and maybe play calling and how the offense is executed?
I think the fans should expect to see a lot more plays out on the perimeter. Of course, we always still going to run the ball a lot, but a lot more speed plays outside to the perimeter to faster receivers, faster running backs. Like I know Jalen Lucas. He's pretty dude's fast. But plays like that, we still obviously going to take shots when we can and develop the run game and all of that. But, I think fans will be excited to see what play calling will look like this year. Yeah,
watching Jalen run is a little wild because when y'all are blogging for him, like you literally lose him, and then you see him kind of bust out of nowhere.
And when you see him, it's too late. He's fast. He's fast.
He's moving. So Briley asked, Darion, what's it been like to battle through injuries, and has that changed your anticipation for this season or your approach to off-season work?
The approach to off-season work, definitely. It's more of a rehabilitation type system, but you obviously still want to get the strength training in and battling injuries, man. I obviously been through a lot here. It definitely takes a mental toll on you. I know I had to press through so many. I had a lot of nights where I kind of considered what I was doing wrong or what I wasn't doing right, obviously. But Yeah, battling through injuries is always tough, and I've been through a lot. But obviously, we are always taught to fight, keep fighting, keep climbing, and I feel like I've done that a lot.
And how much does that make you appreciate those moments, like the touchdown against Southern Miss, or when you have a big first down catch on a curl route, like having had to battle through that to get there?
I think it's just the feeling of seeing your hard work pay off, even in the small increments that it does. I'm always excited to catch a ball, make a play, get a first down, and even seeing my teammates go out there and compete to the highest level. It's really exciting.
Yeah, no, it's been cool, man. And, Trey Homer asks, what attribute or characteristic do you like the most about Coach Dugans?
I think it's his trust in us to always make plays.
Yeah.
He trusts his guys. He loves us, and he really is a great father figure type to us. Each and every guy in the wide receiver room. But definitely, I would say his trust in us to make a play, and always put us on that front line when the team needs a play.
Yeah, I mean that's critical, especially a guy like that who's he's kind of been with y'all for this long journey from being here since the beginning of the climb and putting that in y'all. Smith 1095 asks Darion, what'd you learn from Johnny and Keon while they were here, and how are you applying some of those things to your game?
Honestly, it's the things off the field that they did to better help prepare themselves to face competition on the field. So I would say I got from them film studying, treatment, and even coming up to meet with Coach Dugans on a regular, just to build that bond even more. And then it builds the trust, and you obviously get more opportunities to make plays.
Yeah, and it was a good one. So I just learned this offseason that this is a very contentious process with the numbers and folks changing numbers. Are you still riding with 21? Or?
Yeah, right now I'm still rocking out with 21. I don't know if any other options are available right now, but I like 21 for right now.
Yeah, was that your number in high school too, or was that when you got here?
And in high school I was number 4, but I played a lot of different positions in high school. I was on defense a lot, so yeah.
Okay. But if number 4 becomes available, it sounds like you'll be one of the ones throwing your hat in the ring for.
If they ever need it, yeah.
Okay.
I'll go to safety or something like that.
James B. wants to know what's your favorite route to run?
Honestly, my favorite route to run, I like comebacks. I like the artistry that you can put on the comeback, 15-yard comeback. That's my favorite route to run.
Well, actually, now I won't make you give away the Darion secrets of the comeback route, but we'll see it on tape. Glenn wants to know, would you rather have a crazy catch in close coverage or fake a cornerback out of his cleats for an easy catch?
I'll take the easy catch because, I mean, if it's an easy catch, it ought to be easy to catch the ball and obviously keep running, gain more yards. But a crazy touchdown catch would be hard, too.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like if you're that wide open, that means you did something right. Too. You just got to maybe go a little further back in the play and see where you did the right thing.
Give me a chance to show my speed a little bit.
Trey Homer wants to know, who's the best hooper on the team?
The best hooper. Shaheem thinks it's him, but I don't think it is. Best hooper on the team, I would probably give it to Kentron. I like Kentron as the best hooper on the team.
Okay.
Yeah.
What team are you most looking forward to playing this year, and why?
I would say Georgia Tech. I mean, it's the first game of the year, and we over in a different country, so I really would like the location. So I like to see Georgia Tech.
You guys excited for the travel over there?
Yeah, man. Yeah. That's what I'm looking forward to mostly, even just the experience. And obviously we want to win the game, of course.
It's gonna be beautiful. We actually, shameless plug, have you guys in the quarter zips today. It's gonna be a little chilly in Ireland, so if y'all need something to rock for a 60-degree game early in the year, make sure y'all check out the Battles in quarter zips. Justin Polk wants to know, which DB talks the most trash at practice?
I would say Quindarius Jones. Yeah. Q.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right. Which receiver talks the most trash? And is it Malik Benson? Is it Malik?
Yeah. It's definitely Malik. It's definitely Malik. So, yeah, those are the two most trash talkers at those two positions for sure.
The Moon Man asks, you went off against BC in 22. Will we see a game like that from you this year?
Yes, definitely. We plan on having multiple games like that this year.
Yeah, that featured a little bit. I mean, we saw that 15-yard comeback there, right? Scramble drill on the right side.
Yeah, I definitely plan on having multiple games like that. We got, I think 98 yards and 8 snaps or something. But, yeah, I feel good. I don't know what I did before that game, but I need to find it and do it again. So yeah, we definitely plan on having multiple games like that this year.
I was gonna say it's gotta feel great just when you're in a rhythm like that and everything starts clicking.
It's just clicking, and then at that point you just playing the game you love, football, and it's not much thinking into it when it gets rolling like that.
Now, one other thing we've seen from you is back in, what was it, 22, when you had that pretty vicious hit on special teams.
Yeah.
I think it was against Florida, right?
Yeah, that was
we
bad.
We gonna see another big hit from Darion Williamson?
Yeah. I'll definitely be on some special teams. I'll try to keep my head up this time, not get kicked out the game.
That was referee's interpretation.
Yeah.
Similarly, 5-0 said, what's something outside of football that people would be surprised to find out about you?
I love outdoor motorsports.
Really? Like dirt bikes and ATVs?
Four-wheelers, go-karts, motorcycles, like anything with a motor on it almost. I like to ride things like that. And, yeah, I do that when I go back home. Obviously be careful, but, yeah, I love stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, obviously not like recently, but they've done it before. It's great. Yeah. No, that's kind of surprising. Okay, I wouldn't have pegged you for like a dirt bike guy, but that's pretty cool.
I like dirt bikes, four-wheelers, all that stuff.
Have you just been into those your whole life, or?
Yeah, actually I have. I started when I was younger and never let them go. So.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's I haven't done much dirt biking, but I know you ever heard Ricky Carmichael?
I didn't know like Tallahassee was kind of like a dirt bike mecca.
Yeah, Ricky Carmichael's like from right around here.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Maybe one day, like long after your NFL career is over, come back down here. We'll take you out on. We'll find some trails for you. Yeah, way after all that. But man, we're just so excited to see what you do this year. I think again, just like we talked to DJ. I mean, you're one of the guys who's really been here for the duration of the climb, and seeing y'all get to that 13-0, and now headed into the year with the expectations you're headed in with. It's just cool to see, man. We appreciate you stopping by. I'll let you get out here for a night, but we'll have you back on for a show during the season and hopefully talk about one of those games, like the BC22 game.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Appreciate you.
No problem, man. Folks, that was Darion Williamson. Coming up next, we got Tomiwa Durojaiye. He is our transfer defensive end, where we got you at now? You're playing mostly the end, right?
More D tackle.
A little bit of tackle now? Okay,
no,
so
actually
more inside?
Yeah, so more defensive tackle right now.
I knew I was going to get that wrong because I knew you'd kind of been playing along, and I was like, whatever I say is going to be.
Spent like more of the spring and a lot more like right now in the summer workouts, more D tackle.
So I think diving right in, Tommy, I mean, there's the immediate comparison would be like, Braden Fisk came in last year as a transfer. He was kind of that, playing anywhere from like a 3 to a 7, to play all across the line, high motor guy. When you kind of play all across the line, there'll be those comparisons. Was he part of like when you see a guy like that have that success as a transfer? Was that kind of part of your decision process to come to FSU at all? What went into that?
Like guys like Fisk and Verse Success played a part, but I would say it was more so just previous guys like Coach JP and Coach Odell. Like Coach, I'm the type of guy, like, when I came to Florida State, I did my research. So I saw all the players that they big had an impact on, seeing, like, similar guys with body types to me. Like, past players, like, kind of when Coach Odell was with Jimbo's staff, so things like that. So it was more so seeing, like, D linemen who were my similar body type and seeing who between, like, Coach Hagan and Coach JP, who they developed. That's kind of what made my decision to come here, not really like the past few years.
Makes sense. Yeah, I mean, and I guess you look at a coach like Odell, he's coached pretty much every type of player you can imagine under the sun. And just how valuable, now that you're playing for him, has that experience been for you to learn from?
It's been good just because in my last 2 schools, I was in a react attack stance. So now I'm in an attack and then react. So I liked it a lot just because of the fact that we're going after guys. You're not really waiting for the man to move to do anything. So it's been good. I've been enjoying it, just really just trying to clean up some more stuff like technique-wise, but so far it's been good.
So understand we can't literally get in a stance right here, but just walk me through that, like, you're walking your 5-year-old nephew through that. Like what's the difference between a react and attack stance or approach and an attack then react?
Okay, so like at my previous schools, you were in what's called a 4-eye, so you're on the inside eye of the tackle, so you're like between the guard and the tackle. Here we're more on edges, so you're on the outside half of the guy. So inside we're at a 3, you're at a 2-eye, but we play our 2-eye like a G. The 2-eye means you're inside the guard.
Gotcha.
And then our ends, they're both in 5s pretty much, or if there's a tight end, they could be anywhere from a 6 to a 7 or a 9. So here is like we're more attacking. So like really we're getting off the ball. Like, we're playing with technique and stuff like that. We're getting off the ball. But in a react attack, you're kind of going to see you're gonna really key for me, at field inner boundary tackle, you're keying the tackle's inside shoulder. Right now, we're keying like back foot, or just depending on if we're doing movements or stuff like that, we'll key like a foot or the ball.
Gotcha. So does that just, I guess, give you more freedom to just go straight downhill, get after quarterbacks, get after running backs in the backfield?
Not as much as you would think, because as a pass rush, you still got to balance the rush out. So if you're at the 3 and the center slides to you, you got to go balance the rush. Or vice versa, if you're at the 2-eye, like you have to balance the rush. You don't always get a two-way go like you would want. And the run, same thing. Like you got to learn how to play the gap, and you got to learn how to play gap scheme teams. So teams that run like power and counter, and then versus zone, you got to learn how to play that. So it varies. It also like it depends on the offense you're playing.
Yep.
And then defensively, I would say it's just you're getting off more. Like you're attacking more, but there's still rules to it. Like you still have to play like through the football rules. If not, then you can hurt the defense.
Well, I think like one thing that was really interesting about last year's team versus the previous year's team was how much better they got at team rushing. You know, you watch last year's team and they were so good at collapsing the pocket as a unit, you know, and you'd have sacks where it really didn't matter who got the sack credit, because you'd be like, the quarterback just got swallowed up. I mean,
fans might not understand it, but if you really like truly understand football, like from scouts or like guys in the building that understand football, when you're running games, you could kind of see like maybe a guy got a sack, but because another player penetrated, or when they were wrapping, they didn't sell them out when the other guy was penetrating, you see how the sack works. So I think for me, that's one of the things I do like, just because I feel like when you run it, like running games, like text games or exit games, it allows guys to free up. You get 2-on-1s on the offensive lineman, you got to make them think. And in the trenches, I believe, like on the O-line and D-line, you don't really want to think too much. You don't have time to think like post-snap. So if you can make a guy think and make a guy pick who he wants to get, it frees up guys. And then I believe like when you watch like Verse and Fist, like their highlights when they're running games together, you see like both of them. You see one of them being a penetrator, you see one being the rapper, and vice versa. And you see it on both of their highlights. So I think when the scouts look at it and when the coaches here look at it, you can see like guys like helping each other, not being selfish.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And then we'll grab some questions from the chat, folks. Throw them in there. Being really new to this defense, they're like, what have y'all worked on to immediately develop that connection with your other D linemen, so y'all are on the same page the minute the ball snapped and can do those more advanced, stunts and blitzes and things?
I think it's just gaining the coach's trust. Like that's the first thing. Like the coaches got to be able to trust that you can go out there, execute, and not be selfish. And then from a team, players like everybody has aspirations of playing in the NFL. Everybody wants to be, first, second round. Really, everybody wants to be a first rounder because that's where a lot of the money is. It's not. I think it's really just not being selfish and playing together. I would say that's really the biggest thing. That's one of the reasons why I really like games, because you never know who's going to get the sack if you guys run it the right way. If you're penetrating, you're going to you could like. So a lot of guys think when you're penetrating, you're selling yourself out. Yeah. But if you penetrate and the other guy wraps, you can ricochet off of that guy that you penetrate and make the sack. And then vice versa, if you're wrapping and you sell it, if that guy sticks onto the guy that's penetrating, you come off and you get the sack. Yeah. So I think really it's just us as a defensive line just playing together, not really nobody being selfish. And then it's always just trying to compete. I'll try to outdo each other. I feel like everybody wants to be the man in that room. So it's like trying to do it, but not in a selfish way.
Yeah, no, man. And look, I could talk to you about this for hours, but now that we know that you clearly understand the D-line position extremely well, Trey Homer wants to know, in your opinion, what's the hardest position in football?
For me, it's D-line. Other people say other positions, but D-line, like, especially playing different techniques, like you're going against a guy that's 300 pounds. You never know when somebody's coming back or stuff like that. But I would say maybe from, like, not looking at it from my position or personal standpoint, I'd probably go with corner. Okay. Just because you never know. It's kind of similar to, I'll say, I really can't compare corner. Yeah. But you never know what route you're going to get. You never know when it's going to be a run play. You got to, like, key on your man. But when it's a run play, you got to be able to, crack and come down and make a tackle. So I say corner is the hardest position.
Okay. So Briley wants to know, what's been the most challenging part of transitioning to your role in the FSU defense?
I would say just playing inside a little bit more. Just because I played in a 4-eye, but it was just different. Like I said, you were reacting and now you're attacking. So I would just say getting used to the different coaching and the different technique. that's another thing. Like every coach has their own philosophy and the way they're doing it, and I love the way we do it here. So it's just learning that, and I feel like once I really like get that down and settled, I feel like I can be good.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. Taking another direction, is that what ECB 04 Knowles asks, what's the best food in Tally that you hadn't had before at previous stops?
Oh, that's different. I'm a simple guy. I kind of just like wings and fries or like burgers. Okay. So I'll say like my top like spots out here. I like Madison Social. They got like good wings.
Yep.
There's a burger spot called Burger Barn. Every school like around College Town, they got all types of food. So it's not really, different here than anywhere else.
What's your regardless of what city you're in, what's your go-to like food category?
Probably just like wings and fries.
Wings and fries always? Okay.
I feel like you can't really go wrong with that. If you mess that up, you can't cook.
Yeah, if you can't, don't mess up wings. Smith wants to know, be honest, if the opportunity presented itself to change your number to a single-digit number, would you do it?
Absolutely. I wanted 3 coming in, but Kevin Knowles already had it. And then a lot of guys, like, when the season's finished, a lot of guys probably already requested that. And then there were some guys that transferred before me, so they got a single digit.
Okay.
But if I was able to get a single digit, yeah.
Yeah, maybe in the game they'll let you guys edit numbers. You can go in and just show coach, like, look, it looks really good on it.
Yeah.
So Clay Fink asks, where do you think you're the best at defensive tackle, run game or pass rush, and what are you working on the most this summer?
That's a good question. I would say right now I'm probably just like I got natural ability like pass rushing.
Yeah.
But run game, I feel like when I'm not tired, it's like for me, it's kind of comes natural, like just striking guys. I would say the biggest thing when you said like, what are you working on this summer? Is just really being able to go when I'm tired. I think that was the biggest thing this spring. When I got tired, like my body control just got to play sometimes.
Yeah.
So I don't really feel like I got to show guys like on the team what I'm truly capable of yet. So that's my biggest thing this summer is really just getting in shape, getting more flexible, taking the coaching from Coach Hagan and Coach JP.
Yep.
And really just putting it all together this fall camp. Just trying to look like, I would say I had an all right spring, but trying to do a complete 180 this fall camp.
Definitely. And I imagine Coach Storms is helping you with that getting in shape thing.
Yes, sir. No, yeah, our strength and conditioning staff is like the best. Like I've been around like I believe personally I got a good relationship with all 5 of our strength coaches. And then we have Jackson who helps with the sports science. So him plus them, like those 6 guys have been helping me a lot since we got back. I got back like a week early before we started our mandatory workouts. So far it's been great so far. I've been enjoying it.
Yeah, no, the summer by Storms is no joke from what we've been told.
No, yeah, it's like that.
Glenn wants to know, how does FSU's complexity or simplicity of defensive scheme compare to other schools you've been to, and how do you like it compared to those schools?
I feel like every school is different, and then when you get to the league, every team has different schemes. So it's really just adapting to it. I would say, like, to answer his question, it's complex because in a 4-3, a lot of schools don't really do movements. We do a lot of movements out of our 4-3.
Okay.
So it's learning that, just keeping the playbook, and then learning the rules. So I would say it's a little bit more complex just because in a react attack like that 3-4, a lot of everything is in unison. And our defense right now, like when we get to our third down blitzes, is really trying to make 2-on-1s, force the O-line to go like slide of protection a certain way. Yep. So here it's a little bit more complex, but I think it's like one of those things like once you get it, you get it. Mm-hmm. So that's been the biggest thing for me this summer is just truly understanding everything.
Yeah, and that's going to help. I mean, just having the depth and the experience you'll have on D-line to
kind of
coach you through that.
All of that stuff like plays a part together.
I like this. Greg Turner wants to know, when you get that first career sack as a Knoll, do you have a celebration planned?
No, I don't really have a celebration. I got my first sack like last year. I didn't really celebrate too much. I think the first one like in Dover, the first one in this jersey, it'd probably be pretty special. I'll probably just dab up some of my teammates and try to get another one. I want to get like a hat trick before like my college career is over.
I love that. Hey, the best celebration for a sack is to go get another one.
Yeah.
Well, hey man, we appreciate you sitting down with us tonight. I love just going into depth with you about the technical side of things and the scheme that y'all are running, and it's just cool to again hear all the stuff you're talking about, and then just picture the guys like yourself, Pat Payton, Josh Farmer, even KJ, Darryl. I mean, the guys are going to be running at you, Grady, and I think it's going to be a really tough outing for a lot of offenses going against y'all this year. So
yes, sir.
We're fired up to see it, man. Thanks for coming by tonight. Thanks for stopping by the live show. And we'll have you on one of these things again soon.
All right, thank you. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
All right,
man. Thank you. Folks, that was Tomi, one of our newest defensive linemen. And coming in, we've got... Oh, sorry, I'm breathing into the mic, I've been told. Cute. Come on in, man. We got Quindarius Jones coming on in. What's going on, bro? Sorry, Kevin was hitting me with a hand signal. Folks, we are live. We've got a great production crew, and I've got ADHD. So when he's hitting me with hand signals that I'm breathing into the mic, that tells me there. So, folks, make sure that y'all throw your questions in the chat. Aaron, I totally called you Q, didn't I? I'm so sorry. My bad, dude.
It's all good.
Bro, it's so, yeah, sorry, folks. Again, we're live. We're running with it. And the key to mistakes is just admit that you made them. Right. Say, sorry, Aaron. You got Aaron Hester. But, dude, you and I were talking on the phone the other day, and we were talking about pass rush. We were talking about the spring that you've had. And can you just talk to me about how you're feeling about your development from the start of spring, and then kind of being one of those names that, you know, when guys on the offensive side were asked, hey, who's giving you the most trouble? We got guys like Lucas Simmons being like, hey, Aaron Hester's causing me problems. That bull rush is getting to me. How did you make that kind of big jump? And what are you working on now going into fall to make that next leap?
Yeah, so, I mean, I feel like this spring was really important for me, my development. So, you know, obviously I got that underneath strength. I can get underneath your pads. So I was like, I'll bull rush. And, you know, moving forward, I want to work off the bull rush, maybe a stab club, maybe a bull jerk off him, something like that. So that's what I want to do. And just keep getting better at that and keep expanding my game, stuff like that.
So when you are in the D-line room, and again, like I just kind of named it the end with Tomi, you have so many experienced guys to learn under, but you also have guys, and Pat said this last week on this show, who, I mean, they expect y'all to push them, right? To also be going after it every day. How do you make sure that you're taking in everything that you can and learning from them, but also kind of bringing your own flavor to the room to make sure that you're pushing those guys as well?
Right. I think we all have, you know, we all play within the system, but we all have our own play styles. So, you know, if somebody does something good, you look at that, you know, kind of apply your body type, your play style to it, and say, I can do that, but I'm going to do this. It helps me, you know, play a certain way and really play to your strengths, because that's really important in college ball. Everybody's a little bit different, so especially with different body types, length, strength, all different types of stuff.
And, you know, that is one of the more interesting things about this D-line room is just the diversity of body types y'all have. I talked about Darion in the receiver room, but same thing with y'all. Like, what, from the perspective of a defender, like what challenges does that create for an offensive line to try to prepare for y'all when y'all have all different kinds of guys that you can throw at them?
Right, there's really nothing you could do. I mean, shoot, you got Pat, long, Tomi, big, Josh Farmer, Daryl. I mean, it's really, I feel like nothing you could do. I mean, it's so many different. You got a bull rush, you got speed, you got finesse, you got an inside move, all different types of bodies, and a good rotation. We're not going to get tired. We're going to be coming at you. There's really nothing you could do, I feel like.
Yeah, no, and again, with like you said, you're not going to get tired. I mean, y'all being able to rotate and have fresh guys when they're down, you know, I guess in the reverse red zone, all the way to if they get towards y'all's red zone, you're putting fresh legs out there constantly. That's just got to beat an offense into submission.
Right. It's horrible, man. It's just during practice, we be beating up on the offense. They say, dang, man. But, yeah, man, I'm really excited about it. It should be fun.
I love it, man. So, folks, again, questions you got, make sure to throw them in. Ingram's giving you a shout on the white quarter zip. I think that might be the first white quarter zip we've had on. You like the white over the
I do
over the
like
garnet?
it, man. It's clean.
Yeah, it is, right?
It is clean.
Yeah, and again, folks, it's going to be a little chilly in Ireland. So if y'all need quarter zips, make sure y'all check out thebattlesend.com. First question, R. Wilmer wants to know, which O-lineman do you look forward to going against in practice and why?
I really look forward to going in August. I really look forward to going against Darius Washington.
Okay.
Darius is so versatile. His experience, you know, between playing interior, exterior, he knows what to do. He doesn't panic when he's out there on the island. You know, he's smart. Not the biggest, so, you know, not the longest, but Darius is so experienced. He doesn't get nervous with you. He's patient with his hands, his feet. So, I mean, going against that during the spring, it was fun too, and it helped me. And come August, I want to go at it because I know he's going to make me better, and hopefully I'll get to make him better. Yeah,
I mean, you've got a ton of guys that are super experienced across this O-line, but Clay Fink asked about Lucas Simmons. You know, he talked about working against you, and but what have you learned being 6'2", going against a guy with that kind of length at 6'8" at offensive tackle?
I learned that, you know, you got to watch out for them hands.
Yeah.
You know, when Lucas extends, he's so long, he just takes away that space that you're trying to get to. Maybe you're trying to get to his hip. So You got to be aware for that. And you got to, set him up on the bull rush right. Because if he sticks them hands out, he's got you.
Yep.
So it's definitely, being a little bit more aware and trying to speed around him is hard because he's so long. He just puts his arms out. So I definitely have to pay attention to Lucas's hands, set him up right for maybe a bull, a speed move, a counter move, and stuff like that.
Yeah, and just, again, having so many different guys to go against in the offensive line room, because now, we truly do have a 2 or 3 deep in there, and just like on the defensive side, in practice in the spring, they threw every possible combination at you. So just how has that developed you as a defender, getting to see different offensive guys every single day?
I think that it really allowed me to be able to think on my feet faster. When you get out there on that field, things are moving fast, you're tired, it's hot. Sometimes you can have just a brain freeze and be like, man, what am I doing? So, giving me all them different looks with different body types, different players, it just allows me to think faster come August.
Yeah.
So it's really preparing me.
Because no matter what you line up against, right, on another team, you're like, okay, I've seen something like that before. Like,
seen that body
they're not going
type.
to throw something you've never seen.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, how do I deal with 6'8"? Well,
Right.
You've seen that. And you've seen 6'3", strong and technical,
Right.
and kind of the whole gambit. Greg Turner wants to know, what'd you max out with at the squad party?
I had 565.
Okay.
Yeah, man, that thing tore me up, but I got it, though. That was hard. But
How crazy of an experience is it to be in that room? Like, we all just see pictures and videos, but like, how nuts is the squad party when it's actually going on?
It's unimaginable. The energy in that room is electric. You can feel the tension. You in that phone booth with that squat bar. Coach Storms is right behind you. And, you want to get that weight up. You don't want to fail your brothers. You know what I mean? All y'all in it together. Y'all trained for 7.5 weeks or whatever prior to that. You're about to go in the spring ball. It's just exciting, man. That's like one of the highlights of the year. It's so much fun. It's just, you got to get that weight up. It's you in that bar.
Oh, yeah. And again, y'all put some weight up. Strength by Storms is a real thing. Smith asks Aaron, being in that amazing rotation of talented guys, what are your personal goals for this year when you get your opportunity?
Well, first off, I'd like to say I thank God for opportunity. I'm blessed to get opportunity, but every time I step on that field, I want to prove that, one, I can do this and I'm made to do this, and two, that Florida State is real. Despite what we lost last year, we don't rebuild, we reload.
Yep.
So I'm ready, and as soon as I get my opportunity, every chance that I get, I want to prove the type of player that I am. So I'll be ready.
We're looking forward to it, man. Justin Polk wants to know, who's your favorite NFL D lineman, past or present?
Man, I'd have to say probably Von Miller. Between the way he's not the biggest, so I kind of compare myself to that. Between all his pass rush moves, the finesse, knowing when to bull, I don't know, it's like, I can't see the dude lose.
Kind of having like an instinct.
He knows
for
what to do.
what's
The
coming at him.
instinct, the natural instinct is definitely Von Miller. Definitely.
Yeah. That's not a bad guy to model your game after either.
Not at all, man.
Maybe you don't have to own like the chickens on the side. I know he does that whole thing with that going on. But hell of a guy to model the game after. Varnell asks, who are the top 4 fastest defensive linemen?
Oh, man, if you ask me this question, I know Josh Farmer's going to say he's the fastest. He says that every day. But I'll put him up there. I'll say Pat, Marvin, Josh Farmer, and I say me.
Okay.
I say me. That takeoff I got, I say to me.
Yeah.
I got to throw Josh in there. I can't deny it, but, he brags.
But you can't give him like the title of the undisputed
I
fastest.
can't do it
to
to
him. Yeah. I'm sure Josh stays the fastest, the strongest, the smartest, the hardest hitter.
Everything.
The best. Oh, yeah, exactly. Clay, has the bull rush always been your go-to? You've clearly mastered it and have the natural leverage, or is that something you were coached into over time because of those strengths?
I'd say really once I got to college, the change between high school and college ball is night and day. So I say once I got into college, we got some Sunday practices, and I really just started to work on my technique. I just found it once I got to Florida State.
Okay, Josh Farmer is letting us know he is the fastest. I'm your biggest advocate, Josh. I know. I believe
I knew J5 was going to say that.
No, man. Well, we're really excited to see, again, what you do in the fall, both the team and you being kind of the next, I guess I'd say like, almost the next wave of the D-line, right? Because we lost a few key pieces to the NFL. Obviously, great guys going in the higher round or lower rounds, right? And then, thinking, okay, well, we know who's going to fill their shoes, but the question was kind of, well, who's going to fill the shoes of the guys who were backing up the Fisks and the Verses this year? And, seeing guys like yourself and, again, KJ, and seeing guys like Grady and Tommy come in, it's been really exciting for the fans to be like, okay, I think we're good at that 2 and 3 deep as well. So we're all fired up to see it, man. And, hey, I can't wait to see you on the field in Doak. Maybe Doak will get its own Hester chant, It'll be the next in the wave. But thanks for coming by today, man. It was awesome talking to you, and we appreciate you dropping in.
Appreciate the opportunity.
All right.
No, it's all good, man. Don't worry about it. All right, y'all.
All right, folks, that was defensive lineman Aaron Hester stopping by to join us here on the Battles in live show. And for all y'all that came through, dropped questions, we really appreciate it. Again, we are Florida State Football's NIL Collective. We directly support Florida State football players. So if y'all want to help the team by fueling the climb, go to thebattlesin.com. Become a member today. Make sure y'all like this video. Make sure that you guys subscribe to the channel. If you got in here a little late and there's any questions you'd like us to ask players on the next show, make sure you drop those in the comments as well. Again, I'm Max with the Battles In, and this was one of our summer live shows.